In this video, we're going to look at how to recreate an isometric block using the extrude feature. So to start the document, you hit create, and we're going to entitle this document chapter 3 tutorial 1. Hit create. Now the Onshape Part Studio pops up. We're going to click on sketch, and then we're going to select the front plane. Now once we select the front plane, I want to hide the other three planes. So I'm going to right click on one of the planes on the left, or I could also right click on the plane probably over here, and I'll go to hide all planes. So I'm just left with my sketch plane. Then I'm going to click the letter N or go view normal to sketch plane. Now this particular drawing starts out with a rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start out with a rectangle, but I noticed that I did not change my workspace units. So it's in inches. So I'm going to quickly go into my menu button, and I'm going to select workspace units, and I'm going to change that to millimeters. Hit the green check to enter my settings, and then I want to continue this sketch. Now to continue this sketch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on sketch 1 to reactivate the sketch because we weren't finished with it yet. And if you notice, I started at the origin. Now I'm going to activate my dimension tool. I'm going to put the dimension for this line, which is given as 40. And I'm going to put the dimension for the top, which is given as 50. Now that my sketch is fully defined, I'm going to hit the green check to enter those. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to isometric. Now I'm just converting the sketch to an isometric view. Okay. Now we are required to convert that sketch to a three-dimensional view by clicking on the extrude button. Now once we click on the extrude button on the top left of the screen, we're going to change the depth to 65, and then we're clicking in the space that we're trying to extrude. Now if I wanted to change the direction of the extrude, I could have clicked on this button to change the direction, but it doesn't matter at this point. We just want to make sure our shape is extruded. Now we have our isometric block. There's a cut that goes through the center. Now how do you do that? We're going to select the face that we're going to create the sketch on to cut it through the center of the drawing. So I select the face by clicking here, and then I'm going to click on sketch. Now if you notice, my sketch plane pops up on the outside of the drawing, and as I right click to rotate it, you'll see that the sketch plane is on the outside of that face. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go view normal to sketch plane. I'm going to activate the rectangle tool again, and I'm going to slide or hover over the right side of the box or the right line. And as it change to orange, I'm going to click it and I'm going to make a shape. Now on that shape, I'm going to activate the dimension tool to fully define this sketch that I just created. So the top line is given as 38. The distance between the two lines is given as 12. Let me just redo that part. I'm trying to get the distance between these two lines. I could have clicked right here, or I could have selected this line and this line, and that's what I did. I clicked this line and then I clicked this one to pull that dimension out, and that's given as 12. And then the distance from the bottom to this line is 14. Note when I try to select this short line, the entire line is selected. I just want the distance between here and here. So I'm going to click this line and then click that line, pull it out, and I'm entering my 14. Now notice as I entered that dimension, or as I added that dimension, the sketch becomes fully defined or black. Now I'm done with that sketch. My dimensions have been entered. I'm going to hit the green check, and then I'm going to go back into isometric. Now I need to remove this whole section. So to remove, you're going to go back into extrude, and we're going to select remove, and we're going to click the entity that we'd like to remove. And I'm going to click on this sketch right here. Now, after I click on that sketch, I want it to remove it all the way through. So I'm going to select through all. And once I select through all, you'll notice that it took the entire piece all the way out. So now I have that section removed. Now there's also a cut in the top of the block that we're trying to recreate. Now to do that, we need to make a cut on the top face. So I will click on that top face, and I'll go back to sketch, and you'll notice that sketch plane 3 pops up on the top. Once sketch plane 3 pops up on the top, I'm going to press the letter N, or I'll right click and go to view normal to sketch plane just to kind of square it up. Then I'm going to create a construction line by clicking the line tool, and I'm clicking the construction tool. And I'm just going to hover over the left line to find the center. And if you notice that little yellow square pops up, I'm going to click it, and then I'm going to connect horizontally across to the other side to find that midpoint. Now that line is fully defined because it's halfway between um, the entire shape. Now we need to create this sketch entity on the top. So I'm going to slide here, select that line. Wait, I'm still in dimension, so I need to go back into my line tool. So I'm going to slide on this line. I'm going to click it. And I'm just going to recreate a shape on here. Now we're going to use the mirror feature to mirror these 3 lines, these 4 lines over onto this side. So I'm going to select mirror. Mirror says select the mirror line. I'm going to click this as my mirror line. Then it says select entities to be mirrored. I'm going to click 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm done with my mirror, and I've recreated the entity on the other side. Now to add the dimensions, I'm going to select the dimension tool, and then I'm going to place the dimensions. Now I need a dimension for this, the total line right here. Notice when I try to select it, it's 2 separate lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the top line and the bottom line and pull that out. I'm going to click apply this dimension right here, pull that up. And you notice I did not change my 40. It's because I have an irregular shape. I don't want to change the dimensions until the entity becomes fully defined. So I need to enter this dimension right here. And then I need to enter the distance right here. Now my sketch is fully defined. I can go back and change the values. So on the back side, this is 40. This dimension right here is 20. This dimension on the right is given as 25. And then this dimension right here is given as 8. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to hit the green check to enter that. And then I'm going to right click and go to isometric. Now I am going to use the extrude tool to remove this section. So I'm going to click on extrude. I'm going to select the entity or the space that I want to remove. And then I'm going to change it to remove. And if you notice when I clicked remove, it went in. I don't want it to go to depth. I want it to go up to the next face. So I'm going to change blind and go up to next. So what it does, it stops it right as it gets to the end of this 3D section right here, as it gets to the end of the cut. So I did up to next, and then I hit my green check. And let me just run that back. So I'm going to go to extrude. I'm going to select remove. I'm selecting the entity I would like to remove. I don't want it to go to a particular depth. I want it to stop at the bottom of this face. So I'm just going to select blind and go up to next and hit the green check. Now I have removed that section. Now the last part of this block has a rectangular piece that's connected on the front end. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is to create my sketch, I am going to turn on my top plane or make it visible. And then I'm going to create a sketch on that top plane and then make my top plane invisible. Now, if you notice that sketch plane is right on the bottom of the drawing. I'm going to hit N to view normal to sketch plane. Could have right click, but I'm just selecting N. And then I'm going to create my rectangle tool. And if you notice as I do that, right here, you see it snap into that midpoint. I don't want it to snap to the midpoint. So I'm just going to go just beyond that and create my shape. Now the dimensions are given as 12 by 25 and it's coincident to this point. So it's connected to that point. So I'm going to activate my dimension. So the width is given as 12 and the height is given as 25. Now my sketch is undefined. It's not fully defined because the lines are blue. And what that means is if I try to move it, it will move within the sketch plane. Now I want it to attach to here, to this corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this point and I'm going to click this point and I'm going to say that both are coincident. And if you notice, the sketch attaches to the drawing and now it's become fully defined. That is because it is now referenced to the origin by connecting to this part of the drawing. Next step, I'm going to hit my green check and I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to isometric and I'm going to go to extrude and I'm not going to create a new part. I want to add. So I'm going to click on add because I'm adding to my existing block. I'm going to select this portion and I don't want it to go to a particular depth. So I'm going to select up to face because I want it to go up to a particular face. And the particular face is going to be this. So I'm going to switch from blind and I'm going to go up to face. And which face are we talking? We're talking this one. And if you notice, the height stops right there. And that is how you recreate the sketch given for tutorial 1.